fundraising page on the Hockey Tasmania or the Premier League Hockey Facebook pages. That's probably the easiest way to go about locating that link. I believe they've raised over $4,000 so far for Rare Cancers Australia just from the effort this weekend. So if you're watching on, go and find that online link and maybe make a donation. We are underway in this match between Canterbury and Northwest in the Premier League Women's. It'll be an interesting matchup, Adam, considering where these teams have been at the last couple of years, and of course their result in round one, Northwest having a big victory and Canterbury suffering a big defeat.
Yeah, certainly a little bit disappointing in opening round performance from Canterbury, but I expect them to be far stronger today. I like the fact that they've pushed Blair Beard up into the central midfield or front fullback role. Hopefully she gets lots of opportunity to drive them forward. Gemma Kenworthy's made the trip down from City Marions up in Burnie. She's got the ball now on the right half line. Another strong player, good over the penalty corner as well. So she forces the ball down the line. A little bit of a slow start to this game as they hug the right hand sideline. A couple of experienced defenders for Northwest grads missing this year. They've lost just that little bit of experience, but Louisa Jacobson on the ball now, delivering the pass. Absolute sensational Premier League player for a number of years now. Looks to have slotted back there very comfortably.
Chloe Cooper over the ball down the left-hand side. Feeds it to Ash Arthur, who started wide and cuts in through the middle. That's a good ball into the circle. What did that come off? Umpires say it was fine. That was Izzy Sharman with the touch in the circle, and she does win the free hit at left back for Canterbury. Now, this Canterbury side struggled for a number of years now, but they do have quite a fair bit of talent out on the pitch, of course including the player who was over the ball, Isabel Sharman, just as Northwest make it a bit of an attack down that right hand side. But yeah, Camille O'Connor and Madison Curtis out there on the pitch as well. It's been a little bit of a surprise to see Canterbury struggle with the team they've been able to put out on the pitch, Adam.
Yeah, and I've just noticed that Zayna Jackson's made the trip down from Burnie as well to play central midfield for Northwest graduates. A young player with a lot of potential, a lot of athletic ability and raw ability. Just needs to learn a little bit more about her positional play, and this will be a great opportunity for her to come down and play in the Premier League competition. Northwest grads lining up with their two leading goal threats from last week. You've got Grace Calvert at right inner and Ash Arthur's going to match up on Camille O'Connor, which is an interesting matchup on the far side as we're watching the game. So Maddie Curtis can't control that one. And the recently engaged Ebony Alexander gets us up going again. Here's Zayna Jackson now, forcing it onto Blair Beard's foot, top of the circle. They'll look to shift left. You can see Northwest grads leaving the attacking circle very open for their forwards to roam. Ash Arthur not much on, so elects to take it back and almost combines with Lucy Alexander, but hasn't moved the ball 5 yards, unfortunately. So that'll be a Canterbury ball to Sophie Allardyce to bring it back out for Canterbury. Sending a couple of strikers high the lines. I like that from them. And here's O'Connor now.
Fortunate to turn over and Northwest grads immediately back into attack. Josie Croden, former Canterbury player, on the end of that one, just can't quite bring it under control and keep it in along the baseline. But early pressure on this Canterbury side just to get it out of defence, which has been one of their biggest problems, certainly last year and last week. Just struggle to find that first pass coming out of their defensive 15, so that's going to be one area I think to keep an eye on today. If they can manage to string a couple of passes out of defence, they should actually be able to put this Canterbury team under a bit of pressure, but we know that Northwest can put out quite an aggressive press when they want to, and can be quite effective with some of the players they've got up forward. So just interesting to see how that plays out over the course of the match.
First circle entry for Canterbury. Northwest defended well, but here's the stick work of Camille O'Connor, who spent a little bit of time over in the United States on a collegiate scholarship. And now Maddie Curtis with some strong play on her four-stick. Wins that battle, her first battle with Grace Cowett. Another intriguing matchup for this match. And Canterbury unable to combine going down their left-hand side.
They'll be disappointed with that because that's an incredibly important part of the pitch to actually set up an attack from. Free hit just outside the 23, which means you can go directly in if you want to. You don't need to carry it to 5 in order to go inside the circle, and you've got all that time to pick out a pass, and unfortunately that pass from the free hit has failed to find someone and sails harmlessly over the baseline. So I think early signs there, Canterbury would really want to be taking more advantage of those kind of opportunities, because I don't think they're going to get too many just on the basis of what's happened last season and pre-season.
No, absolutely right, Scotty. I think the way Northwest defend with their very close marking game, marking from in front or shoulder to shoulder with the opponent, not going to be too many opportunities, although it is a really hot day and we might see space start to open up and some end-to-end hockey in the later part. I can see Canterbury already rolling the substitutes, which is wise on such a warm day. You can see the Tasmanian Hockey Centre baked in sunshine. A lot of people have brought their camp chairs onto the hill. We're in for a great afternoon of hockey, I feel.
Neither side has been able to create anything too clean inside the circle just yet. We're about 7 minutes in to this first quarter, so it has been a relatively even, if not maybe slightly slow start to this match, but both sides just trying to test each other and see if anything opens up. But I think Canterbury will probably be pleased as we see how this plays out. Chance for Emma Fenner to load up, and Arthur's had a bit of a half shot on goal and it's been dealt with by the Canterbury defence, but I think that's the first time we've seen any real danger inside that circle. So Ebony Alexander now attacking down the right and has won a penalty corner. So just as we were saying that it's been a bit of a slow start, Northwest have just clicked up a gear and created the first penalty corner of the match.
Yeah, they've sort of been known for the last couple of years to be a side that like to favour playing with widths, particularly dominant down the right-hand side, and that comes to fruition there with Ebony Alexander. Might be able to get away with letting her overlap once, but not twice, and they went to penalty corner. And Ashley Arthur, former leading goal scorer of the competition, and Grace Cowett, another former leading goal scorer of the competition over either battery. So some real firepower in the Graduates attacking battery here. Arthur elects to slap it. Oh, and slaps truly to open the scoring for her side. Really powerful shot. Smart move to do the upright trap and drive the ball low into the bottom right corner.
It just took a slight deflection off the Canterbury defender, but 1 from 1 penalty corners, which is an excellent sign for Northwest. We know they've got a number of options from the penalty corner, and Ash Arthur will be more than happy just as she sends Camille O'Connor sprawling and picks up a green card for that. But Arthur will be more than happy. Oh, actually, she's gone off for a normal rotation, but she'll be happy to have one on the board early.
Absolutely, does a lot of confidence for herself. She'll come off, get some fluid on board and reassess. Northwest Graduates not pushing too many numbers forward, sitting with 5 players behind the ball, but still an opportunity to drive the ball through. Josie Crowden's first to jump on that ball, but can't control it and keep it in the field of play. So chance here for Canterbury to outlet. Looking to play with 2 defensive mids the way they're shaping there, with Prue Dugan and Blair Beard. Camille comes right back. Great lead up play, and here Canterbury go on the overlap. Cowder wins back possession, in no hurry to go forward, and links up with Lucy Alexander down the right. A beautiful left to right drag, and now can explode with her speed and wins a free hit, and Northwest Graduates can push their numbers forward.
Canterbury were able to work it out of their defensive zone, but just weren't able to connect with anyone up forward, which might be an issue for them to look at, because they are, without someone like Hannah Richardson in that side able to maybe run forward, they are probably a little bit underrepresented for strikers.
I spoke to Hannah during the week, and she's hopeful she'll be back in the second round, but might be a little bit optimistic on her part, but she's certainly hoping to play a role this year for them. That's critical for them. As we see Northwest graduates again overlapping down that right hand side, pulling the ball back into the foot of the Lions defender, and they've got another look at a corner, this time with Ash Arthur off the field, so it'll be interesting if they go with 2 batteries or the 1. I expect Grace Calvert might be the option.
Yeah, we see Ebony Alexander, I think, is lining up for a hit as well, so looks like they've worked on a couple of different options just for this specific situation.
Well run down by O'Connor. Dugan with the mask on, controls the ball nicely. Can't quite clear it. Northwest Grads with another opportunity. Crash ball looks to come in. Well defended by the Canterbury goalkeeper. I like the way how Emma Fenner, their young girl for Northwest Grads, playing on the left wing. I know they've got big raps on her as a potential star of this competition, but I like the way how she defended there, didn't try and give away the free hit. As we see Zayna Jackson win back possession through the middle of the attacking 25. Here's Fenner now on the reverse stick strike. Is able to swing it round on target, but well negotiated by the young Canterbury goalkeeper.
That's Georgie Bennett, who has come across from Derwent last year to sit in the net for Canterbury. She'll have plenty of work and a chance to develop further as part of that Canterbury defence. A promising young goalkeeper. I think Derwent probably a little bit disappointed to lose her. But a good pick up for Canterbury.
Yeah, they've got the makings of a strong side in the next couple of years, Canterbury, but if they can hold them all together. Just struggled for depth in recent years, but great to see them have their reserve side back in the competition this year.
They have had a huge turnover of players over the last 5-6 years. The starting lineup just a few years ago is almost entirely different to the one that's lined up today. Can't imagine there's too many. Maybe Madison Curtis and maybe Camille O'Connor might be the only ones who are surviving, but pretty much the entire rest of the team has completely changed, so it has been a bit of a rebuilding phase for Canterbury.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they're not playing with Blair Beard at fullback, opting to play her in central midfield. Just the way that she's able to outlet and release pressure, and really strong presence in the tackle opportunities as well. So she combines well nicely there with a teammate, but just think they could have her over a few more free hits, Scotty.
Mm-hmm. And Blair is, of course, a former Tassie Van Diemen, playing for the Tasmanian senior state side in the Australian Hockey League, as it was before it became the Sultana Brand Hockey One. That's young Sophie Lucas over the ball. Unfortunately, she's giving it up to Jackson.
Some good hockey pedigree there in the Lucas family. Yeah, hopefully Blair considers playing in the Australian Hockey League, or the Hockey One competition as it is now, Scotty, for Tassie. And the other one I'd be interested in seeing nominated is Louisa Jacobson, who wasn't available last year. She had a badly damaged foot right on the cusp of finals and wasn't able to participate 2 years ago, and wasn't able to participate. A very, very talented player, Louisa Jacobson, over a long period of time.
Good work from Chloe Cooper in Northwest defence to shut that run down, but Dugan is able to reload for the Lions. Just a little bit sloppy, and great work again from Cooper to defend once more, and Jackson now down the left hand side. Northwest have been able to negotiate that out of defence reasonably comfortably.
Cooper looks back, doesn't like her options there, so brings the ball infield to open up the angle and is able to transfer right across the field to Ebony Alexander, who's got space to look up, crash ball in and deflected over the byline by Blair Beard. A wall of Canterbury lines there, so Louisa Jackson opts to go right again. Yeah, Alexander's certainly been working on her four-stick hit over the pre-season. And here's Jacobson. Northwest Grades continue to threaten.
Yeah, well, Alexander is one of those players that goes under the radar a little bit, I think. And of course, over the years, she's been in such fantastic teams that she hasn't always been called on to play a senior role or a starring role in that team. She was a Premier League All-Star back in 2019. She had such a standout season there. So she's a player that can bob up from time to time and impress when they need her. But more often than not, she tends to just kind of float under the radar, do her job for the team, which of course is, when you're in a team that features so many superstars, they're the type of players that you value quite highly.
Absolutely. Just a little bit of lull in this game while Sophie Allardyce retrieves the ball, but that might be all she wrote for the first quarter, and the teams will get back into the huddles, get into the shade, get the fluids on board and reassess. So we've got Northwest Grads leading 1-0 after a penalty corner drive from Ash Arthur took a deflection past Georgia Bennett. Player herself. That's the two inside rights really for both teams. Camille O'Connor for Canterbury and Grace that could hold all the cards in this second quarter. Back underway.
Beard takes a moment to pick out a pass, looking for young Sophie Lucas up on the forward line. She's unable to bring it under control, but Northwest do have a free hit deep on the sideline in their defensive 23. Actually, no, it's just a normal 15. Sorry, so play on, but a chance for Canterbury to really push up and put some pressure on this Northwest side, and they do have a free hit on the sideline. Chance to reset.
And just while Sophie Allardyce is fetching that ball, Scotty, how did you enjoy the game between OHA and University last night?
Yeah, look, I think the 6-0 final scoreline probably a little bit unfair to University. I think they were probably better than that. They certainly had their chances in the circle and were a bit unlucky. And OHA, I think 4 out of their 6, maybe 5 out of the 6 goals came from their penalty corner. So I think the scoreline was, probably just a bit unfair to University, but that OHA side looked very good, and they were missing a few of their stars too. So they're really defending premiers of the yardstick of the competition, I would say, early on in the season. Curtis continues her run. She's into the circle. Great work from Ponting to come out off her line and make that save. Important bit of goalkeeping there from Casey Ponting in the Northwest Grads net. But great run from Madison Curtis. Bit of determination and a couple of second efforts. And they're through on goal and she wins a penalty corner, and Canterbury get their first look at it. I wonder if Beard is someone who is going to play a part in this penalty corner attack.
Yeah, she's got to be the number one candidate to have a strike here, I would have thought, with Gemma Kinworthy sitting back on the half line. But fantastic confidence booster there for Maddie Curtis to win that battle with Grace Calvert and drive into the circle, have a shot and earn a corner. Won't be, it'll be Dugan. She hits, Ponting drops, and the follow-up play very, very nearly from, I want to pronounce this right, Susan Powderly?
Sian Powderly.
Sian Powderly, thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Number 13, sorry. Important moment there for Canterbury. Dugan with the strike. It's a pretty good save from Ponting, and the rebound was just sent wide, so Good sign early from Canterbury that they were able to actually create that penalty corner in the first place and force the keeper into a save. So they'll be hoping for a second or third chance at a penalty corner, I reckon, after having seen that.
Yeah, absolutely, and just like we spoke about at quarter time, you can see there every time Ebony Alexander now receives the ball, she's got Sian Padley right up in her grill and forcing a couple of turnovers there.
Allardyce cleaning up in defence, can't quite connect with Sharman, and Northwest will have a chance just outside their 23. That is the aforementioned Ebony Alexander, racking up the fantasy hockey points.
And the options on here, Alexia back, can find a foot. Probably one thing though, they've been a little bit narrow in their focus, probably need to pull the ball back out and around here. It's a hot day, the longer they can make Canterbury shift from side to side, the more success they might have. An opportunity here for Lucy Cooper, but she's stripped of the ball. Earns it back.
Arthur, second, third opportunity, runs along the baseline. Crowden takes a swing. It'll be a long corner. Or a 23 restart, as it is these days for Northwest.
And nothing going there. So RHA, we're missing a few of their stars as well, Scotty.
Missing Sarah McCambridge and missing Madison Brooks, to name two of their biggest names. So they'd be pretty happy to walk away with a solid victory with a weak inside. I noticed Sue Brooks returned from retirement for just another run around, filling in from the bench. She's probably had more comebacks than John Farnham, but good to see a legend of Tasmanian hockey just stepping out and helping her team, or helping her club out, with a couple of players missing. Of course, Evie Dalton was missing as well for OHA last night, who is over in Canberra training with the Junior World Cup squad, I guess, or part of the Junior World Cup training camp, looking to earn selection in that squad to play a little bit later this year, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for us to have two females in the Jillaroos extended squad as they get ready for the Junior World Cup in December this year. It's been some time since we've had a female from Tasmania and playing and training regularly in Tasmania go all the way into the Jillaroos squad. So very exciting for Evie, who's one of 5 goalkeepers left in the mix. And then we've also got Diamondbacks' Phillida Bridley over there as well. So really exciting for Tasmanian women's hockey, off the back of a quite encouraging Hockey One debut performance in 2019 by the women's side. Now Canterbury have worked their numbers across to the right hand side. Starting to get a little bit of value there, but here's Grace Calvert. She's found some space in behind her marker, an opportunity to run, but she runs into the wall of Blair Beard. Oh, great first save, great double save from Georgia Bennett here. Calvert on the reverse stick. Bennett up to the challenge again. And that was really impressive stuff from Georgia Bennett. What I liked there, Scotty, was not only did she make the save, but really balanced and in control of those saves as well.
Didn't lose her feet. Was able to make the second and third follow-up save and be ready for any other rebounds. So we can see Grace Calvert getting on the ball, what she can create. So good little moment for Northwest grads, but Canterbury will be more than happy that their defence was able to hold up to it. It's still only 1-0. So these are kind of important moments in this game. We did actually see the men's game on the live stream just before this, where a couple of easy goals let in early can really crush the way your team approaches the game. So drawing a comparison between those two games, we've seen Canterbury hold out, keep some of those chances out, and they are still right in this match. So they've got a free hit on the right hand side, around right half, just in front of their defensive 23. Beard tries to touch it on, but coming out his brothers. Bit of a battle on in the midfield just to win clean possession. It's Arthur over the top. That's a raking ball into the circle. Defence is scrambling. First shot is saved by Bennett.
Great quick early shot, I think, from Fenner it was, but Bennett again up to the challenge.
And remains just an important couple of minutes for Canterbury that Northwest have been able to find another extra gear and putting another extra bit of attacking pressure on them. If Canterbury can just hold out for these next couple of minutes and not give away a cheap goal, not give away a cheap penalty corner or anything like this and survive, that could go a long way to actually opening the game back up in their favour.
Oh, lovely bit of skill there by Josie Crowden, but can't quite connect with the upright tomahawk shot. And Canterbury will get a chance to clear. She's a very gifted, naturally gifted striker, Josie Crowden. Capable of scoring shots on either side of her body from anywhere in the circle. I think there still might be plenty of goals left in this game, Scotty.
I wouldn't be surprised, given the conditions, the playing conditions, if this one really doesn't open up in the second half, as players get a little bit tired and a little bit dehydrated in the heat. But I think if you're Canterbury or your Northwest grads, what you really want out of these remaining 5 minutes in this first half is just not give away anything cheap, so you can take advantage of anything that comes your way in the second half.
No sooner do we say that, and Ash Arthur steals possession and tries to go through the head of the circle. Combines with Calvert, who's fast hands. Earns a penalty corner. A little bit lucky, I thought.
Yeah, I think
a little bit soft from
Dugan's been penalised there for the tackle on Calvert outside the circle, so it is a big call from the umpire, Sarah Duncan, there. But she is one of our impressive and developing young umpires, especially at Premier League level. So, and she's got a much better view of the game than we do up here. So, I'd back her in to have made the right call there. But important moment now for both sides. Northwest have a chance to extend their lead from the penalty corner. Canterbury will want to keep this out. And good work from O'Connor. Oh, sorry, Curtis. Tough to tell them apart under the mask.
And a great outlet pass by Blair Beard. That's why I said I was surprised that she wasn't playing full back and taking a few more of those free hits. She's certainly got that passing range and ability to convert defence to attack really, really quickly. But a little bit of back and forth hockey here. Arthur tries to force it through, but nothing doing. Finds a foot. Northwest graduates need to really stretch the play out a little bit here. A lot of bodies around the top of the circle.
So Arthur over the top of the ball, just outside the 23. She decides to go overhead. Running onto it is Cooper down the right hand side now. Good little run from her, puts it to the spot nicely. Crowden with some work to do. She's giving away the free hit instead.
Just can't quite get the connection on her goal shots at the moment.
Early release.
Oh, and I think she might. It's a stiff whistle. Bit of a stern warning there. Got to get 5 yards from the free hit. And Canterbury, chance to go down the left. Oh, here we go.
That's a
She's
good
shown
ball.
in space. Can she shift it on? She does. Sophie Lucas, lovely post back. But there we have Louisa Jacobson, just as experienced defenders tend to do, finding herself in the way. Camille O'Connor. And Canterbury, this is looking like their first real sustained attack of the match.
Good work as well to win that back as well. They turned it over. Beard Good ball in. That one's just gone wide. Good work to... they made the initial tag, turned it over, but actually got it straight back from that and had a second bite at it, which probably didn't see too much of that last week from Canterbury. So that's another probably important sign that they've probably spent a good week on the training park working on some of these things in their game.
Oh, absolutely. You can see they're a lot more compact today. They've got some good movement up front. Here's Beard again. Just can't quite connect, but she recognised where the space was, which was excellent. I like those early signs from Sophie Lucas, some real smarts about the way she made decisions just a moment ago. I think she has a bright future.
And some clean skills as well. I think some clean traps and is able to make some nice passes.
So the Ruby brothers relishing playing that fullback role this season. Ebony Alexander's been switched to the left. Maybe she just wanted to chase the shade after a hot first quarter and a half.
Good work from Kenworthy there to get back and sweep through defence. It's just earned the ball back for Canterbury. Important couple of minutes here before the halftime siren sounds. Scoreline does remain 1-0 in favour of Northwest, but Canterbury have looked good in these couple of minutes and they survived a really stern test a couple of minutes before that. Crowden does though break into the circle, whips a shot away from the top, goes wide, but with not long to go before the halftime siren, you certainly, if you're Canterbury, you wouldn't want to give up anything cheap now. You'd want to consolidate this performance that they've managed to put together so far and go into the halftime, get some water into you and reload for a big second half really. Oh, that's a big steal from Jacobson there, set up Crowden, follow-up shot. She's put it into the bottom corner. Louisa Jacobson just steps up when the game is on. Who better? She's gone and just walked up from defence, put herself in the middle of the park, earned a turnover, set up a shot for a forward, and then the rebound has fallen to her and she's just slotted it nicely into the bottom corner. So we were just saying how important it would have been for Canterbury to hold on to this 1-0 deficit going into half-time, and Northwest well aware of the situation the game was in. And of course Louisa Jacobson well aware of that as one of the smartest players in the league. Has just stepped up and taken it on herself to double their lead and really put them in a good position going into the second half.
It's a big advantage now with beautiful touch from the young Canterbury forward there. I can't make out who it was, but looks like it might have just taken a Northwest defender's stick from Ebony Alexander perhaps, but that was a great opportunity right on the cusp of half time.
Yeah, good ball in from Kenworthy. It's good to see them creating some of those opportunities as well, but Northwest have a fast break here. Fenner is all the way into the circle now, and the siren beats her unfortunately.
Well, that was an action-packed last minute and a half of the quarter, Scotty.
Certainly picked up in that second quarter. I think Canterbury will probably be disappointed to have conceded that second goal so late in that quarter. We were just talking about how important it would have been to hold on to that, but they can certainly take some positives. I think both sides probably go into this halftime talk with plenty of positive things to say.
Late in the third quarter to show his worth for that side. So they're a different prospect this year, OHA men, I think.
And of course, we already spoke about OHA women's 6-0 win over University on Friday night. This morning we had the Canterbury Northwest men's game, which was a win to Canterbury 3-1. Much improved performance from the Lions from last week, and Northwest probably down a little bit, but Canterbury really came out firing and we managed to steal 3 points early on in the season.
Yeah, I think Canterbury strengthened by a couple of inclusions from the north of the state. My old state hockey teammate, Khan Riley, I think you might have even played against him, Scotty.
Yep.
Came down and scored the opening goal from a penalty corner. And Canterbury, they looked really threatening. I thought Sam McCulloch, when he has room to burst it into and use his skills and his speed and his strength, was really, really dangerous. I think the likes of Gobbin Gill and Alistair White just looked a little bit frazzled. They were just a little bit down on their best hockey, I think, and Jai Walker Kidd had a couple of late opportunities when they were trailing and really needed a goal. He just couldn't quite find the mark today, so they'll be better for the experienced Northwest graduates, but still finding their way with big personnel changes, but really encouraging for Canterbury to pick up early points after missing the final series last year.
And we did, of course, see the earlier Mercury live stream match between Derwent and Diamondbacks in the Premier League men. Derwent a 9-1 victory over Diamondbacks. Really did it all in the first quarter. Paul Anker on his first game back with that Derwent side after transferring from university. Of course, he was a Derwent player originally. First half hat-trick to him, so interesting victory for Derwent. I think Diamondbacks were reasonably solid in the second half, but 9-1 really says a lot about that match.
Yeah, I think two sides at different parts of their development. The time is really now for the Derwent men's side. They've been together. They were premiers in 2019, and they've kept a couple of their older guys on this year. So the time is really now, and it was really a game of boys against men for the large parts of that first quarter, unfortunately. But Diamondbacks showed some really good signs as the longer the match wore on. I'm impressed by young Oliver Pritchard, and of course, the goalkeeping exploits of Grant Woodcock are always worth the price of admission, I reckon.
Yep. It is, of course, 2-0 here in this Premier League women's match between Canterbury in the red and Northwest in the blue. Goals to Ash Arthur and Louisa Jacobson for Northwest grads in the first half. But Canterbury have been relatively solid, probably playing above expectations, I think, coming into this game. There's a little bit of fear that we could see another blowout after the first week, and they've been much improved on that. But now we're really into the thick of it with the sun shining. They've all got a half under their legs. This one just might open up a bit, and we'll see whose favourite actually opens up for. But at the moment, Northwest making an attack into the circle with Lucy Alexander sliding in at the back post.
Always gets really active in the attacking circle, Lucy Alexander, and positions herself well. I expect Northwest Graduates coach Josh Mardell will be seeking a really clinical performance in this second half, particularly in their attacking circle. He'd love to get a few more goals because, as we know, the goals dried up in the final series last year for them, and it is an area that they are working on. It's a bit of a new look attack with Josie, Emma Fenner and Lucy Alexander. He's packing a lot of firepower in his midfield with Grace and Ash Arthur there, and hoping it can pay off. So a really good opportunity for his front three to bang some goals in and create opportunities.
I guess in his back pocket he always knows that he can throw Ash Arthur and Grace Coward up forward. If they're struggling, he's got two ready-made goal-scoring strikers up there. Not that they'll be short of goals this season, I imagine, even playing from the midfield.
No, but we have commented that Grace Coward's had a little bit of a quiet first half by her lofty standards. So it'll be interesting as space opens up, a little bit more opportunity here, as we see Josie Crowden firing on her tomahawk side, but well negotiated by Georgia Bennett. Not the power in that shot with the defender coming in.
Here's Crowden again, upright on a reverse. Bennett's clearance only as far as O'Connor. There's a bit of a battle on between O'Connor and Crowden, and O'Connor wins it. So you'd have to say that Northwest have come out looking the better side after the half-time break. That's a fantastic ball out from Blair Beard though. Now O'Connor has a chance. She's got skill and pace, but she's up against one of the leading players in the competition in Louisa Jacobson, who does win it back, links up well with Ash Arthur. That ball's fallen nicely for Emma Fenner, who can attack down the left-hand side. She's on a reverse, looking for a cross. Back to the top of the circle, arriving late is Calvert. Still on it, battle with Curtis. Calvert tries to get the shot away, but Beard with an importantly timed tackle. And unfortunately, she has given away a penalty corner, I believe. Some desperate defence, some good defence there from Canterbury, but a penalty corner opportunity for Northwest is the result.
Yeah, some courageous defending there. I think it was Matty Curtis throwing the reverse jab in to deny Coward the first time, and then Blair Beard came up trumps on her reverse stick. But unfortunately, a penalty corner here from a Canterbury perspective, unfortunately, and a chance for Ash Arthur to score her second of the match.
Here's Arthur. Deflected over the top by the first runner.
He does run out well defensively on penalty corners, Camille O'Connor. And a chance now for Canterbury to get numbers back. Hold up the play. Ruby Brothers shuffles it right. Ebony Alexander again on the overlap. First time from her sister Lucy. Across the face. Bennett called in action again. And Crowden swings wildly at the ball mid-air and is unable to score it on target.
Let's talk about Josie Croden for a minute. She's someone who, go back 5 or 6 years, she was lethal playing for Canterbury in the circle. We know she's her work commitments have obviously become much more onerous, not able to actually attend as many trainings over the last couple of years, so she did find it a little bit harder to recapture some of her form season to season. She has made the move to Northwest last year, was able to get back into the goals, and we just see how the positions she gets in are very dangerous. Some of her finishing is still yet to come back to her, I think. I think she's managed to recapture a lot of confidence. I think she's someone who, if she can find that final 10% that she's just missing, she's going to be an incredibly dangerous piece of the puzzle for Northwest, especially heading towards a potential premiership campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's the sort of player, if she can get some real consistency with the way she trains and availability for games, I expect to see her high up on the leading goal scorer charts by the season's end. Just sort of rushing herself a little bit now and forcing it on target, rather than just making good clean receives and manufacturing a little bit of extra space and time to have her shots at the moment for me, but certainly very talented young girl and a natural forward, which is a big plus. So she's a real astute signing for Northwest Grads a couple of years ago.
Calvert involved now in the midfield. Uses Croden out in a wide position. Sends the ball down the line. That's a big chase on for Lucy Alexander. It does beat her over the baseline. Has been all Canterbury in these opening 8 or 9 minutes of the second half, so pressure is mounting. To have a little bit of space with Beard and O'Connor, she can send it down the line. She's got a runner.
They've worked this well, Canterbury, down the right-hand side. Very neat bit of play.
That's Helen Galloway at right wing. O'Connor can attack from here. Unfortunately, she's just mistrapped at a crucial moment. Beard, she can regain control. She's got a little bit of time and space in here. Unfortunately, she just caused a little bit of an obstruction. Important moment there potentially for Canterbury. Beard, I like seeing her around the top of the circle because I know the kind of damage she can do if she gets inside, but unfortunately not the case just at that moment. But now Dugan coming through, and it's been a nice 60 seconds for Canterbury. Let's see if they can grab something from this.
Yeah, still some opportunity if they want to go right. They elect to do so. Needs to link up with O'Connor now, but can't go through the head of the circle, unfortunately. And Ash Arthur is there to mop up. A delightful weighted pass.
This
the
is
race
going
is
to
on.
Sit. Wow. Probably just gave up the chase, which I don't blame her in this heat, but Canterbury created moments. They just need to capitalise, because you think if they do manage to get that one goal, that'll really be a big boost to their confidence, but it'll also probably activate players like Camille O'Connor, seeing the scoreboard tick upwards, and they might become, might inspire them to become much more dangerous in the game, because we know players like her, players like Isabel Sharman and Madison Curtis can really turn it on with some of their skills and speed when the moment calls for it. Ken Worthy to bring it out of defence. Fortunately, she just hasn't been able to connect, and it's gone over the sideline, so Northwest will have a chance to attack from their right wing on the sideline.
Charlotte, some delightful stick work, protects the ball. Maddie Curtis giving her no space at all. The switch is on. We've got Chloe Cooper now on the overlap. Feeds the ball to Fenner. Able to link up with Lucy Alexander. And Canterbury now look to me to have their best sort of defensive pairing here. Kenworthy to Beard. Sharman to Curtis. So a couple of their senior players now starting to link up, which is ominous signs. If they can pick a goal back here, Scotty, then it's a real shift in mindset at 2-1.
There is an opportunity here for Dugan. She's down the right hand side. Great work from Chloe Cooper, but it's fallen for Sophie Lucas. Goes back. Enclar. Inboard to O'Connor. Nice bit of skill from O'Connor, and they've got a chance to really set something up here if they're smart. Dugan goes early to Beard. Beard into the circle, does win the free hit just outside for the earlier dangerous play. Just a clean entry here. That's really what they're looking for. Unfortunately, they've turned it over in midfield.
And Zana Jackson. Space in front of her, but is unable to connect the pass.
Probably the right pass too, but just the understanding between those two players not there, having not played a whole lot together.
Absolutely, but probably the best period of the game for Canterbury now. It's been a little bit of sustained possession, a bit of territory. And Northwest Grads just looking to be Ash Arthur, that's it, changes the point of attack to Lucinda Scutt, but Sophie Lucas pounces on it with a bit of reverse pressure. The young girl posts back, and now they can get away with Camille O'Connor on their right hand side. She looks for Lucas. Is it going to get there? It does. And a great bit of post-up play again from the youngster. O'Connor just a bit heavy with the touch, and Northwest Grads can move away through Crowden, but that Dugan's there. So a little bit of seesaw hockey, as I like to call it, Scotty.
Good work from Dugan to run back and affect that turnover as well. And now she's on the attack, just outside the circle. She's got 3 blue sticks around her to beat, and numbers win out. Jackson releases the pressure. It's been impressive for Canterbury. They've had their moments, but you feel right now is their chance.
They're just getting a little bit isolated when they're in possession. That's a great receive by Maddie Curtis. Unfortunately can't connect after a little reverse stick jink. But Northwest Graduates are not seeing a great deal of movement from their midfield at the moment. And that's a great ball from Albin Alexander to Lucy. And geez, Canterbury have worked that well. Into Beard, out to the right to O'Connor, and she's got room to move. Well, we tried to force the pass a little bit too much. Dugan's there, and they can earn a free hit, taken quickly.
Hard to see exactly what that came off, but Dugan looked to play the quick auto pass into the circle and trying to get an early shot, which is an excellent sign. You just feel Northwest just step back a little bit, and especially their midfield might just be feeling the heat. 3/4 time buzzer does beat Canterbury, but it was an excellent couple of minutes there to see out the quarter, and you feel it must be frustrating not to get reward for some of the effort.
Very young side still doing it, without Jess Tremaine, no Amelia Spence, of course, of the Hockey Roos fame. So, it'll be interesting to see how they go up against the experience of Diamondbacks.
Of course, they make up for that lack of experience with quite a fair bit of enthusiasm and speed.
Yeah, you'd have to think that today's conditions might help them, might assist them a little bit greatly, but it'll be interesting to see. As we're back underway in the fourth quarter, Northwest Grads bring the ball back into play through Chloe Cooper. Big driving ball, but it's raised at Camille O'Connor, so chance for Canterbury now to go and claim some territory in their front half with Sophie Allardyce, Canterbury captain. Great pressing from Josie Crowden, but not quite able to steal possession there. And the ball ends up with Maddie Curtis swinging a free hit. And Canterbury do get into their attacking half, but are unable to connect.
So we did just see towards the end of that third quarter the Northwest midfield lose a little bit of the ascendancy and Canterbury really step up. And even there we just see Brothers unable to pick a pass out from out of defence. So I think these final 15 minutes, I think there are going to be some larger openings for Canterbury to exploit. It's going to be interesting to see A, whether they can, and B, who it will be from their side that does exploit some of these opportunities, because I think there's quite a fair bit of talent for that Canterbury side out on the pitch. You just need to see one of them in a position to take advantage.
Really starting to zip the ball around though, Canterbury in defence. And
I do wonder if they haven't just taken a little bit of confidence out of their performance in the opening three quarters. Probably the way they started quite cautiously.
Oh, here we go though. Here Grace Calvert turns over possession, hits the circle and goes bang! It's a high shot, but Georgia Bennett very comfortable save with her glove. But that just shows you how explosive Grace Calvert can be, stealing possession there and firing a shot no sooner than she entered the attacking circle.
So she's a match winner and she's a match changer. She only needs a moment. Someone who's not afraid to take a shot from the top of the circle either, or make a bit of a run. She's someone who you'd expect to do very well at Hockey 1 level too. She does get the opportunity. Northwest have earned a penalty corner here though.
I think a little bit unlucky for Canterbury. It looked like it hit Gemma Kenworthy's glove, but that's softer sound and the umpire might have misunderstood it. So chance here for Northwest graduates though to potentially put the match or the result to bed if they can convert here. I think this will be Arthur. It is from the top, hits, doesn't get the best connection. Crowden jumps on it and hits the post. It's back off the woodwork. And is that Isabel Sharman who gets back to mop up for Canterbury. So a little bit of a let off there for Canterbury. And a great quick strike from Crowden. That shows how dangerous she is when she pulls the trigger.
Talking about how unlucky she's been though, is has a good chance and slams it directly into the post. So unfortunately, so far in this match, 0 goals, despite having plenty of chances. But I think it's only a matter of time for Josie. Here we see Northwest on the attack again.
Calvert on the back stick. Comfortable save by Bennett. Does follow it up well, and is that another penalty corner? Just starting to really work her way into the game now and break lines and get a full head of steam up into the attacking circle.
It's funny that she was so well held in the first 3 quarters and doesn't mean anything. She's able to come out in the final quarter and assert herself on the match and create, well, quite a fair bit in just these last couple of passages of play too.
So it will be Louisa Jacobson to inject, and I noticed that Ash Arthur swapped batteries, which tells me that she might be getting a drag flick this one, Scotty. No. Slide pass instead. She stays down low on it, right hand post, and that's taken a little bit of a deflection, and that is Ash Arthur's second goal of the match. Northwest graduates now lead 3-0.
I think it's a bridge too far now for Canterbury to be able to get back in this match. I think Northwest have found reward for their effort, and Canterbury unfortunately haven't. I think on the balance of the play, Northwest have been the better side, but I think the Red Lions will probably be ruining some of their opportunities in their forward half. Just their inability to make that killer final pass or create any really clean circle entry. Northwest will know that they've played a game though. They've certainly been tested, and they'll probably come out of this game better for having come up against Canterbury in this mood.
Absolutely, it's been a fairly clinical performance from Northwest grads. Nothing too concerning as we see Louisa Jacobson bursting through. She feeds it left to Emma Fenner, carries it outside the left foot. Not afraid to pull the trigger on a tomahawk, but another great save from Georgia Bennett. I think she's probably been the story of the match for me, Scotty. She's made well over a dozen comfortable saves now. Looked really assured in the net and couldn't really do much about any of the goals.
No, she's done really well. She's an impressive young developing goalkeeper. Had a really good season with Derwent last year in the Premier League, and we'll have a number of opportunities with Canterbury this year. Northwest being able to create quite a fair few attacking opportunities now.
And just getting a little bit of distance between the lines now, which is plays right into the hands of some of the elite ball users that Northwest grads possess. Jacobson and brothers just keen to soak up a little bit of time here. Opt to go left through Cooper. And a searching ball negotiated by Bennett.
Bennett's been good in the Canterbury goal, but I've also been impressed by young Emma Fenner in the Northwest forwards line. I always like a striker who's not afraid to take a first time shot. She's had a number of them. Hasn't scored any, but I like just the mental attitude of getting in the circle and not being afraid to hit it towards the goals. I think there's quite a few strikers that can be fairly accused of maybe taking a more of a training approach to shooting on goal sometimes under the extra pressure of matches. So it's really good to see a young striker developing those kind of instincts. And of course she's in good company in this Northwest grad side, you would expect.
Yeah, explains why we're such good friends, Scotty, because I was never afraid to pull the trigger from anywhere in the attacking circle. But no, I think there's a fair bit of potential in that young Emma Fenner if she can stay motivated and keep working on her craft. Looks a threat both defensively in the attacking press, but also on the attack, able to shoot and carries the ball nicely on both sides of her body. And that's a lovely receive from Josie Crowden, but she throws her head back. Can't believe her luck. And now Canterbury can attack, and O'Connor's got space. I'd love a left to right drag around the back here. She does, but Brothers gets the stick in, and the umpire's called time. They've seen something that we've missed there, Scotty. Maybe a little bit of an elbow in the back, perhaps, as she reached in on that reverse stick tackle. I'm not sure. But Canterbury now gets to play against 10 Graduates players. Beards jumped back in defence, and Allardyce now on the overlap, using that number to their advantage, but just can't quite connect in that attacking third, unfortunately.
No, green card for Brothers. I'm not entirely sure what it was for, but another young, impressive Premier League umpire, Chloe Abel, was able to spot it. This is an opportunity for Canterbury, though. I know probably the game is too far out of the way now, but they've got an opportunity with the extra player on the pitch, just to try and snag a goal back and see what can happen from there. Curtis attacking down the right hand side. That's a good ball into the circle, coming out to meet it. Well, actually the ball's fallen for Dugan. She does pump it back into the circle for O'Connor. It has hit a foot, but it's outside the circle. Quick ball from Dugan. Beard, she'll love this position. Can she spot out a pass? Short, Dugan taps it in. O'Connor moves to her reverse. Unfortunately, she's just outside the circle. Back in, great bit of skill. Shot on goal. Great save from Ponting, but I like the approach from Camille O'Connor. Nice little close-in skill. Get inside the circle. Takes the shot. Good save from Ponting, but wins the penalty corner.
Yeah, big moment in the match for Canterbury. They fought hard. We've got the extra player at the moment, and O'Connor's just relishing the extra space that's been afforded to her at the moment. Really important opportunity for them going forward if they can score a goal here. We've got Beard, just the one battery. Beard at the top, expect the direct strike. And there it is, she hammers it home. Bottom left corner. Great reward for effort for the Canterbury Lions there. And Canterbury, they peg a goal back. Northwest Graduates still 3-1, about 5 minutes to go. But that's a fantastic goal, terrifically earned by Camille O'Connor and hammered home by Blair Beard. I expect we'll see a few of those this season, Scotty.
Can't imagine why not. We have mentioned it a few times. Reward for effort. Canterbury lacking, but they've been good in these last couple of minutes, had the advantage in terms of players with that green card, but took advantage of that. Fantastic play from O'Connor and a wonderful strike from Beard. We know she's capable of that, and it's good to see it happen.
Yeah, O'Connor continuing to get busy. I like the move of Blair Beard back to fullback, just to control and settle things down. Allardyce taking the marking role. Northwest Graduates back to the full complement now. And young Lucy McMullins jumped on at left half, Scotty, a girl with great potential. A famous Northwest Graduates name. And just as we're talking about that, Josie Crowden earns a penalty corner, a chance for Northwest Grads to get back to a 3-goal buffer.
Just getting back to Beard at fullback, I know Canterbury probably aren't going to have Ken Worthy for too many more games. She'll probably play out the rest of the season up in the GNL rather than making the trip down every week. But I think having Beard back there is really important for their young captain Sophie Allardyce, who has someone who can take a bit of the defensive pressure off her and actually teach her a few things about the defensive side of the game, as she's still a developing defender as well. Calvert on a reverse, good save from Bennett. Follow-up falls to Jacobson, but there's an obstruction. And
absolutely terrific umpiring by Chloe Abel there, I thought. There was an obstruction. A lot of umpires, and particularly young umpires, would have missed that, but she picked up on it and very clear, very early on the whistle with it as well. So fantastic umpiring from her. And Canterbury have worked the ball down their left-hand side and into the attacking 25. Unable to connect further, and Ebony Alexander, she's had a terrific game, Scotty, for mine. She's able to clear away the danger.
Good ball from Dugan, nice work from Lucas yet again. O'Connor trying to link up with Kenworthy. There's a battle on with Crowden. Or sorry, that's Sharman. Sharman does win out in the end.
I like this lineup from Canterbury, Scotty. Isabel Sharman at right half, Sophie Allardyce the marking fullback with Blair Beard sweeping, Camille O'Connor at right inner, and Prue Dugan at centre half. I do like the balance of that, and I think Canterbury can get a lot more reward for a lineup like that, playing predominantly down their right hand side, down their 4-stick side, getting some attacking opportunities, particularly when Hannah Richardson returns as well. But just one extra link in the chain that they can rely on.
And let's not downplay how tough an opposition Northwest are. So this is doubly impressive for Canterbury against a really strong opposition. Wonderfully picked off there by Allardyce too. Goes for the tight pass up the line. Wonderful trap from Lucas.
Been very
Ball's
impressed
still
by
alive.
that young Sophie Lucas.
She's got a chance to go. Finds the pass. Munt in a battle.
Yeah, I've been impressed by Sophie Lucas. Her receiving skills, leads to the right areas. We could just do with a little bout of confidence to carry the ball forward at times and have a go. As we see Camille O'Connor, she thought she'd done enough for a penalty corner then, but nothing doing, and Ash Arthur will relieve the pressure out to Allardyce in the last closing seconds of the match now, as Allardyce tries to thread a ball back to Camille O'Connor, but unable to connect there. So I think Northwest Graduate, Scotty, worthy winners, 3-1, but I think the scoreline suggests that it's been a really positive showing from Canterbury as well. Some really strong performance from Georgia Bennett in goals, been really impressed by her, but some really promising signs for them going forward so early in the season, with a relatively new group after lots of personnel changes. Maddie Curtis though hasn't given up the ghost, and she gets into the circle last moment, fires across, and unfortunately after a great save by Casey Ponting, that's hit a foot.
No, it hasn't been all one way, which was the danger when you've got the wooden spooner from last year coming up against one of the premiership contenders, as Arthur breaks into the circle, tries to work her way onto the force. It does win a penalty corner. That's been impressive from Canterbury, considering where these teams are probably at, or probably finished the season last year, to where they are now. So this has been a good bounce back from Canterbury as well, after their big loss last week.
Yeah, absolutely, and then just really smart and intelligent play from Ash Arthur there. She now gets a look at a hat trick of penalty corner strikes. I'd expect that this could be an upright trap and a slap hard at the bottom right hand corner again, to go with the 2 goals she scored last week. Let's see how she goes. Here's to Arthur, she goes to flick, Bennett's up to the challenge, rebounds to Ebony Alexander, and she's earned a penalty corner by firing it in really quickly. And another chance for Arthur to stalk the Lions net.
I'd feel bad for Canterbury and Georgia Bennett if they concede one more right at the end, because I think they've done well defensively, but always a tough way to end the match, trying to defend a couple of penalty corners consecutively. Here's Arthur again, doesn't want to go for the flick, goes on a reverse instead, and Curtis with the clearance. Only as far as Jackson out at left half. She's got time to pick out a pass if she wants it. Could even attack herself. That's a fantastic pass into the circle. Bennett comes out to clear the danger. Kenworthy on a reverse finds the sideline. Wonderful vision there from Zayna Jackson to pick out that pass there.
That was a brilliant bit of play by Zayna Jackson. I hope we see more of her coming down from Bernie, the daughter of Grant Jackson, one of the famous Jackson triplets from the northwest coast in football circles up there. And that's the final siren, that's all she wrote.
So a 3-1 win for Northwest Grads. Impressive showing from Canterbury, but I think Northwest will be happy to take all the points from that one. Still probably early in the season, so I don't know how really you read the result